Well, good evening student again. Now in this short video we will learn about the viva जो कि शाफ्ट और लोअर एंड के बारे में पूछे जा सकते हैं. सो वेरी क्विकली वी विल फर्स्ट लर्न कि कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन हैं जो शाफ्ट के बारे में पूछे जा सकते हैं. नाउ द शाफ्ट को अगर हम ट्राइंगुलर सेक्शन में काटें, आई मीन से इसका ट्रांसफर सेक्शन काटें तो ये ट्राइंगुलर इन शेप होता है. दैट मीन्स शाफ्ट के अंदर 3 बॉर्डर्स और 3 सरफेसेस हैं. देखिए बॉर्डर्स कौन कौन से हैं. देयर इज एन एंटीरियर बॉर्डर, एक एंटीरियर बॉर्डर है जो कि टिबियल tuberosity. We already know tibial tuberosity from our last video. It begins from here. The anterior border is a sharp, slightly convex, projecting, and it begins from here, which we can feel in living person. Okay, in our own limb lower limb we can feel this anterior border. And this anterior border, if you will trace it downward, it will go towards the anterior surface of, or say anterior margin of the medial malleolus. This is the medial malleolus and its anterior limit or anterior border, and this you can see, this is the anterior border. Then he may ask you which is the posterior border. Okay, there is no posterior border. Okay, then there is a border what is called as the lateral border, and lateral border begins here from that of the lateral condyle, and then again it is sharp and it goes towards that of the posterior, I mean say lateral aspect of the notch here, and that is the fibular notch. It is going to the fibular notch. This is that lateral border. Then there is a border which begins from the medial condyle here and it goes down below, and then it goes to the posterior margin of the medial malleolus. See, this is the medial, this is that posterior margin of the medial malleolus, this is that medial border. So how many borders he will ask you? He can ask you about anterior border, he can ask you about medial border, he can ask you about the lateral border which is sharp, and it is also known as the interosseous border because it gives attachment to interosseous membrane, which is the middle or intermediate tibiofibular joint which is attached to the interosseous border of the fibula. So this is that lateral or interosseous border. So how many surfaces? The next question will come that out of these 3 borders, how many surfaces? So between anterior border and between the medial border here, this is the medial surface, and this medial surface starts from the medial condyle and goes right up to the medial surface of the medial malleolus, and this is totally subcutaneous, lies beneath the skin. There is no attachment of the or origin of the muscle. Okay, there is no origin of muscles. So this is subcutaneous muscle, I would say surface, okay, which you can feel. Then there is a surface which lies between anterior border and interosseous border here, and this is the lateral surface. So this was medial and just here it is lateral. Then between interosseous and the medial border here, this is called as the posterior surface. And if you will see the posterior surface, a vertical ridge is also seen here which divides it into the medial and lateral half of the posterior surface, which will give attachment to the 2 different muscles. Then on the near the upper end where you are seeing there is the articulation for the fibula, or this is the head of the fibula will articulate here. From here if you will draw a line, it will go towards that of the medial border, and this oblique line is a soleal line. This is, and above that there is an area which will give attachment to popliteus. Soleal line will give attachment to the soleus muscle itself. Okay, it will give attach. Then the question may come here that what is the origin of the tibialis anterior? So that is from the lateral surface between anterior border and that of the interosseous border. This is the muscle which takes origin is the tibialis anterior. Then may come the origin of the tibialis posterior muscle. So this is between that of the lateral border and that of the vertical ridge of the posterior surface. This is the tibialis posterior. Tibialis posterior is attached here. Okay, I think this many questions can be asked on to the shaft. Let us go to the lower end, and in the lower end we can see that this is the medial malleolus is here, which is present, or bony projection is from the medial side. And if you will see the the posterior surface of medial malleolus, there is a groove here. Can you see this groove? This is a groove, and through this groove passes the lodges, or it rests on it. This groove is the tibialis posterior. Okay, tibialis posterior muscle is here. Okay, tendon of this tibialis, and then on to that of the lateral surface there is a notch here, and that is the fibular notch. Okay, through which the fibrous joint between the lower end of the fibula and that of the tibia will be there. That is inferior tibiofibular joint. And then he can ask you about what are the surfaces onto the inferior surface of tibia. Now for the inferior surface, it will articulate with the talus, that is onto the superior surface of talus and the medial surface of the talus to form the ankle joint, So this is about the shaft and the lower end of the tibia, which has four surface: lower end, anterior surface, the medial surface, the posterior surface, and the lateral surface, where the fibula will come in contact with it. So there are four surfaces of lower end, and there is an inferior articular surface with that of the talus. Then if you have given all the questions, answer for many questions, I will be happy and will ask you a question, about the growing end. And the growing end of the tibia is the upper end, because the primary center appears in the 7th week of intrauterine life, and soon after birth there appears a center for the upper end, and then the secondary center for lower end will appear at the first year of age, after 1 year also, soon after 1 year of age, and here it is after birth. Okay, so that this center, the upper secondary center, is first to appear, and it will unite with the shaft at the age of 18 years, while this will unite with that of the shaft or diaphysis at the age of 16 years. So naturally the upper end of the tibia is that of the growing end. Now the lower half of the tibia, he may ask you an applied importance. The fracture of the lower 1/3 of the tibia, they heal very slowly. They prolong time. It is okay that poor healing takes place if the fracture is in the lower 1/3 of the shaft of tibia. You may answer that since the lower 1/3 of the tibia doesn't give attachment or origin to the muscles, okay, so its blood supply is poor. It is mostly in relation to the tendons which are going to the foot. Okay, so because of the poor blood supply, the healing of the lower 1/3 of the fracture of tibia is also poor. Thank you very much for watching this.